call here. And anybody else joined us after that? So we have Ishwari, Radha, Suyash, and other two Varshas. One of them does not talk, so this is awesome. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Sutapa Mataji, Danvat Pranam, Jai
Dandavat
Prabhupada.
Pranam. Jai Prabhupada.
Great, 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 great. Okay, so Danvat Pranams to all of you who have joined us on the Zoom call, as well as all of you who are watching us on the Facebook. Hare Krishna to you. So we'll start with the Vigyapti Panchaka. And is the font big enough for you to read?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. All right. So we will get going with first the Sanskrit verses here. Okay. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vigyapti Panchaka, verses 1 and 2. Matsamo nasti papatma naparadhi cha kaschana parihare pilajjame kim bruve purushottama yuvati nam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvatau yatha manobhi ramate tatvan mano me ramatam tvai bhumao skhalita padanam bhumirevaavalambanam Tvai jata paradhanam tvameva sharanam prabhu Govinda vallabhe radhe prarthaye tvamaham sada tvadiyam iti janatu govindo mam tvaya saha Radhe vrindavanadhishe karunamritavahini kripaya nij padabja Dasyam Mahyam Pradiyatam. Okay, so we'll now go and do the translations. And you have the reading order, right?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
It's in the chat. Please go ahead. Ishwari Radha Mataji.
Oh, awesome. So that's a good place for me to go as well. So let me bring up my chat. I know. Okay.
Purush.
Hare Krishna Suyash.
Can you read the whole thing? Are you able to see the whole thing side to side, Ishwari Radha?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
O Purushottama, no sinner. Oh, it went away.
Mute to change kila to share.
Hare Krishna Suyash Prabhu, can you please put the order in the chat box again? I didn't get it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Should I start, Mataji?
Yes, please. Thank you.
O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man, and the minds of young men take pleasure in a young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone.
Who's next in the order?
Varshana Mataji.
Okay.
Mataji, Varshana Mataji is on mute.
Yeah. Varshana, you're on mute. Please unmute yourself. Okay. Okay, I did that for you. Okay, go ahead.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you. Hare Krishna.
Ourselves.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
O
Can I read
Srimati
Mataji?
O Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavana, you are the river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
So good. So we got the Vigyapti Panchaka done today. We have finished with our morning ritual here of singing the Vigyapti Panchaka every day. And like I've mentioned, that this is the This is a prayer that in which we are laying ourselves bare before the Lord, and we are exposing and opening ourselves to in front of the Lord and explaining all that we have, and then begging for the mercy of the Lord. Right? So before we go into the reading from Bhagavad Gita, and what chapter are we reading today?
First chapter, Mataji,
First
20th
chapter.
verse.
Okay, very good. And Suyash Prabhu, could you do the order one more time? Because I think some more joined us on the call. I think Preeti Radhika is also there.
On the light. Yeah.
And then Suptapa, anyway, Satipa came in much early. I gave you that. You have added her. Yeah.
So
After Khyati, maybe you can redo that. And while I bring up the verse, then at that time you can take care of that and just announce it one more time, the reading order, so that there's no confusion. So when Suyash Prabhu is announcing the reading order, all of you just be alert and memorize who's the person before you and who's the person after you. Okay, that helps. All right, so I'm going to go to the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and we'll start
Hare
reading.
Krishna. The order for reading is Ishwari Radha Mataji, Varshana Mataji, Suyash, Manasi, Varsha K Mataji. There are two Varsha Mataji, so I put
Only
Varsha K.
one Varsha Mataji reads. The Varsha K Mataji won't be able to read. She's on mute. Yeah, from where she is, she can't speak.
She said she will be reading, participate in reading today.
She will participate. Oh, this is our lucky day. Awesome. I didn't read the chat. Sorry about that. Yeah,
Then,
good. Yeah,
so
good.
after Varsha K Mataji, Sutapa Mataji, after that Khyati Mataji, then Shraddha Mataji, and Priti Radhika Mataji.
Okay. So I'm going to start sharing the screen now, and if you can confirm that you can see the screen, and then also I'm going to increase the font size so that you can read it better, and let me know. Is this good, Sutapa, for you?
And if
Yes.
if anyone is not sure where their when their turn is, please look up the Zoom group chat. There is a list.
Awesome. Okay, so I think we have our usual participants, right, who come to the morning call, so we could get started. So who's going to go first? Tell us, Suyash Prabhu.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, go ahead.
Who's going to go in first? Ishwari? Is it Ishwari's turn?
Yes,
Oh,
Mataji.
yes.
Okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
Text 1. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Text 2. Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words.
Hare Krishna. Text 3. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupad. Text 4. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Great fighters like Yudhudhan, Virat, and Drupada. Hare Krishna.
There are also great heroic powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashi Raja, Purujit, Kunti Bhoja, and Saipya. Text 6. There are the mighty Yudhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamoja, the son of Subhadra, and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters.
Text 7. But for your information, O best of Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are especially qualified to lead my military force.
I'm just scrolling it up so that all can see it nicely. Yeah, go ahead.
Text 8. There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and son of Somadatta called Bhurishrava, who are always victorious in the battle.
Now, Varsha Kapoor Mataji.
Text 9. There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons, and all are experienced in military science. Text 10. Our strength is immeasurable. We are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited.
Suyash Prabhu.
Sutapa Mataji. I guess Mataji got disconnected. Khyati Mataji.
All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy. And Neeral Prabhu can also read.
Awesome. Dandavat Pranam.
After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. On the other side, Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded the transcendental conch shells.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I read?
Yes. Please.
It was unmute.
It was on mute? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead, yeah.
Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his the Devdatta, and Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean task, blew his terrific conch shell called Pandora. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Anantavijaya, and Nakul and Sahadev blew the Sugharsha and Manipushpaka. The great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter, Shikhandi, Drishtadumna, Virata, the unconquerable Shaktaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Shivadra, all blew their respective conch shells.
So, Suyash, Prabhu, you have to tell us who needs to go next.
Yourself, Mataji.
Okay. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious. Vibrating both in the sky and on the earth, it shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words.
Arjuna said,
Sorry.
Hare Krishna?
Yeah, yourself,
Okay.
Mataji.
Yeah, Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra.
If you scroll it up, yeah. And get rid of this bookmark also. Go ahead.
Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, Just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here.
Text 26. There Arjuna could see within the midst of armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers. Text 27. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. Hare Krishna.
28. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand and my skin is burning.
Text 30. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only the causes of misfortune. O Krishna, killer of the Kesi demon. Text 31. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsman in this battle, nor can I see, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent kingdom or happiness?
Text 32, 33,
Kathy,
34,
let
and
me,
35.
yeah, Kathy, let me just scroll it up, right? So that you can read all your things together. And yeah, I'm hearing some reading sound there. So if you can mute if you're not reading. Yeah, go ahead, Kathy. Sorry about that.
It's
It's
Varsha.
Mataji's turn.
Mataji, this is me, Varsana Keshvi.
Okay, go ahead. Slowly. Yeah.
O Govinda, of what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on the battlefield? O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, material uncles, father-in-law, grandsons, brother-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them? Even though they might otherwise kill me, O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them. Even in exchange of three worlds, let alone this earth, what pleasure will be derived from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Text 36. Sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the son of Dhritarashtra and our friends. What should we gain, O Krishna, husband of the goddess of fortune, and how could we be happy by killing our own kinsmen?
Good. Let's go.
O Janardana, although these men, their hearts overtaken by greed, see no fault in killing one's family or quarreling with friends, why should we, who can see the crime in destroying a family, engage in these acts of sin? With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion.
Text 40. When irreligion is prominent in the family, O Krishna, the woman of the family become polluted, and from the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, comes unwanted progeny. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestor of such corrupt family fall down because the performance for offering them food and water are entirely stopped.
42. By the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities are devastated. 43. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell.
Shraddha Mataji.
Alas, how strange is it that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts. Driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness, we are intent on killing our own kinsmen. Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hands, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield.
Sanjay said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief.
Haribol. So we did one chapter of the Bhagavad Gita together as a team, and we have Preeti Radhika continue now to go deep into text number 20. Can you all see it?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So give us the Sanskrit for that, Preeti.
Sure. Atha vyavasthitan drishtva dhritarashtran kapi dvaja parvarte shastrak sampate dhanur udmaya pandava hishikesham tada vakyam idam aha mahipate.
Good. Now let's go and look at the synonyms. Whose turn is it?
Ishwari Radha Mataji.
Atha, thereupon, Vyavasthitan, situated, Drishtva, looking upon, Dhritarashtran, the sons of Dhritarashtra.
Okay,
Kapi,
let's just stop there and look at this word, Sanskrit word. What is that?
Dhritarashtran.
One more time. Look at it really closely and scrutinizingly.
Oh, it's Dharatarashtaran.
It's
Oh, Krishna.
Dhartarashtra, right? Yeah.
Wow.
So in the Sanskrit language, when you're talking about possession, like, the sons of Dhritarashtra, like Dhritarashtra possesses these sons, right? So it becomes Dhartarashtra. Okay.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay.
Yeah.
Kapi Dhavaja, he whose flag was marked with Hanuman, Pravritti, while about to engage, Sastra Sampate, in releasing his arrows, Dhano, bow, Udyamya, taking up, Pandava, the son of Pandu, Arjuna, Rishikesham, unto Lord Krishna, Tada, at that time, Vakyam, words, Idam, these, Aha, said, Mahipate, O king.
Translation. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in a military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. Hare Krishna.
Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. The battle was just about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that the sons of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of military force by the Pandavas, who were guided by the direct instructions of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana, and Lord Rama emerged victorious. Now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. Lord Krishna is Rama himself, and wherever Lord Rama is, his eternal servitor Hanuman and his eternal consort Sita, the goddesses of fortune, are present. Therefore, Arjuna had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever. And above all, the Lord of the senses, Lord Krishna, was personally present to give him direction. Thus, all good counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing the battle. In such auspicious conditions, arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee, laid the signs of assured victory.
Haribol. Okay, so pretty powerful verse. And as Vaishana Mataji has said, that in this particular verse, instead of our usual 4, we get to have 6 lines, right? So that's mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So let's see now. We'll go back and look at the verse again. Atha vyavasthitan drishtva dhartirashtan kapitvajaha pravarte shastra sampate dhanarudyam pandavaha rishikesham tadavakyam idamaha mahipate. So pravritte word, right? We just want to look at that verse a little bit more. And so who's going to give me the meaning of the word? Pravritte.
While about to
While
engage,
about to engage.
He's about to engage. So who was about to engage?
Arjun
Arjun is going to engage in what?
releasing his bow, arrows from his bow.
Okay. Dhanar Udyama Pandava. So I just want you to imagine that scene, right? We have been in this battlefield for the last 20 days now. And I want you to go there and look and see what's happening. So we saw this munificent chariot come all the way, right? Come all the way. And then on the chariot were stationed the Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna was the chariot driver. And then he has got this wonderful Gandiva bow. And we have talked about in our previous lectures as to how he got that Gandiva bow. And so now he is picking up that bow, is getting ready to fight. So what's the Sanskrit of, he's picking up?
Pravartate? No, sorry.
Shastra Sampatte.
No,
Udyamaya.
Udyama, that's right. Correct for 20 points. Okay, good. Udyama, right? So he's picking up that bow, right? And then this is describing a little bit of the chariot also. What's described about the chariot here?
Lord Hanuman is on the flag.
The Lord Hanuman is sitting on the flag. Okay, good. So I'll stop the sharing here and open it up for discussions and your reflections on what you have read so far. Your thoughts?
He's almost taking up, and at that point, his emotions comes over. That's so. If I picture this in front of me, I'm almost gonna write an email, and I'm confused. What's gonna happen? That situation.
That kind of situation. Okay. Does this verse still talk about the confusion? Does it talk about the confusion at this time or
No,
not?
it doesn't. But
It doesn't.
it
Okay,
just
that's good.
depicts the situation.
Yeah. So yeah, you're going ahead a little bit, and that's okay. You know, we kind of keep going back and forth on the verses. Okay. What else?
I liked about the flag having Hanuman's flag bearing Lord Hanuman's image, and that whoever is on the side of Rama, Hanuman will always be on the side of Rama, and with whom Rama is there is always Sita, the goddess of fortune. So Dharma is always on that side. I mean, they didn't say that Dharma is on that side, but it's that side is bound to win.
Win, exactly. Fortune is going to tell you who's going to win. Okay. Yeah. Good. Very good. What else?
And then Srila Prabhupada again ends the purport with that there are signs that they're going to be, Pandavas are going to be victorious. And in the beginning of the purport, he says that we have already seen that their hearts are shattered of Duryodhan because they don't have Krishna on their side. So Prabhupada emphasized that again.
Very good. Very good. What else?
Arjun is now fearless because the little bit of fear or confusion what he had in the previous verses, this one is telling that there is no cause. Means so now he is confident and fearless.
So Arjun had some, do we know from the previous verses that Arjuna had some confusion?
Yes, Mataji, because he was not sure whether he should fight with his relatives and father-in-laws, brother-in-laws. So he didn't want to fight.
Yeah. So, but do we know that from the previous verses that we read up until now? So let's have a quick look at what we have read so far. And let me just bring it up real quickly here, start sharing the screen with you. And here comes the verses. So let's see what's happening. So in the first verse, Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya. Then Sanjaya is saying, all right, fine. Duryodhan went to his teacher. And then Duryodhan starts talking to his teacher, talking about the strength of the Pandava families. He's particularly pointing out that this Tridimna is there, and talks about other powerful fighters, and right? That goes on to verse number 6. And then he says, okay, now let me tell you about my things as well. So he goes to text number 7. And then now he's saying you and Bhishma and all that, right? And then
Yes.
this is the slip of the tongue. He says they are prepared to lay down the lives for my sake. So he's already talking ill omen for himself. And then we read about our strength is immeasurable, right? Again, aparyaptam. We talked about the two meanings of that word there. So still Duryodhan is talking, and then he's saying, give full support to grandfather Bhishma. And then Bhishma, and now the action starts. Up until now it was talk, 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 talk. And now the action starts. And then Bhishma takes out his conch shell and then he blows it. And then once he starts there and says, all right, the war has started, then everybody else starts. And the conch shells, drums, bugles, right? Parmanaka, Gomukha, Sehasabhya, Abhyante, Tumlo, right? We hear all that. So there's a lot of tumultuous sound. And then comes Krishna, on the chariot with Arjuna. So they make this grand entry, but Krishna himself is in a very humble position of a chariot driver. And then Krishna now starts to blow his conch shell, and then we have all these conch shells which are being blown from the side of the Pandavas, right? So that takes us to 16 and 18. And then in 19, he says that the different conch shells have become uproarious, vibrating in both the sky and on the earth, right? So if you just go follow that particular pattern over here, it was Duryodhan who was more worried, right? We have not yet come across Arjuna getting worried or even fearful like that, right? So and you were right about Arjuna not being fearful, but you were quoting from the purport that that Prabhupada is adding, right? Prabhupada is doing that value add. And just as I was telling Suyash Prabhu that, when we are discussing this, it's okay, we go forward and, bring something from there, but we also need to have that connection, because now we are reading Bhagavad Gita scrutinizingly and in more detail. So we should also get very, very familiar with this particular verse and with this particular chapter. So we're kind of going slow, and that's the reason we are going slow in this reading session, that we really want to get it. And the idea, and I like I said yesterday also, that whatever verses that we read in a particular day, you should meditate on that verse during the rest of the day, and to see how you can apply those verses into your real life. And there was something very interesting that Vaisheshika Prabhu said in his Sunday feast lecture, and he said that make Bhagavad Gita your friend and let it be your companion. So think about this, what it means to make Bhagavad Gita your friend, and what it means to have her as your companion throughout the life. But very deep, very profound statement, made a lot of action involved, a lot of to-dos for all of us to do, but that's what it is. And Bhagavad Gita is a gift of, Krishna coming through Vedvyas to us like that. Okay, any more reflections on what we read today?
I think Varshana Mataji is talking, but she's on mute.
Varshana Mataji, want to hear you.
Okay. Therefore, Arjuna had no cause of fear of any enemies. And above all, Lord Krishna, Lord of the senses, Lord Krishna was personally present to give him direction. So here I feel Lord is always with me to give me the direction. Only I unnecessarily get fearful and get anxious about things. I just forget that he is with me. So this is my mistake.
Very good. And this is a very good takeaway for us as well, right? Because one of the reasons why we are not able to fall asleep is because we are anxious, right? and Vaisheshika Prabhu talks about and Vaisheshika Prabhu talks about that, there are circles of concern, right? And so and a circle of influence. So there are certain things that you can influence. And if you are thinking about those places that you can influence, then it's okay for you to even, think about it and deliberate on it and say, like, what can I do and what should be done and things like that. But if there are things outside your circle of influence, then to think about those things is the cause of your worry. That's going to cause you worry, right? And then worry means no sleep. And no sleep means next day the chanting goes all, messed up. Okay. Yeah, so he has got no cause of worry. So we have that. Okay. So
can I say something related to that?
Absolutely. Yes, go ahead.
Gaur Gopal Das Prabhu says that, can you do something about it? Then the algorithm comes, either answer is yes or no. If no, then why worry? And if yes, then why worry?
Yes, very rightly said. Yeah, he's a genius at coming up with these kinds of, algorithms of his own. Yeah, amazing. Yeah. See, there you go. Okay. So yeah, so we have been mentioning that we are seeing some signs of the victory there. So if I were to ask you, give me some signs that we have been reading since the beginning on why do we think that they are going to be victorious? What are the reasons why we are thinking?
Just the previous verse, I believe, the Thrashta, when all the musical, all the instruments sounded, the Thrash sons, their hearts were shattered. So that was a sign that they were worried and they knew that they won't be victorious.
Okay, yeah. So number one is that the enemy is starting to become weak, right? So that's a sign of our victory. Okay, good.
In the start itself. Sorry, go ahead, Mataji.
Go ahead, Mataji. Prabhuji.
At the end, at the start, Sanjaya itself, the way he describes people, Pandavas and Kauravas, he describes them differently. As he is sure that they are gonna lose and Pandavas are gonna win.
Yeah. You got onto the correct words, right? And there's more on that word, because it's, how does Bhagavad Gita start with?
Dharmakshètre Kurukshetra.
Dharmakshètre Kurukshetra.
Yes.
You can expand on that. Yeah. Right. So go ahead, Khyati. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that the battle itself is played on the ground of religion, and Dhritarashtra, who was spiritually blind, he knows that his sons are not on the side of religion. So he was worried that this war is taking on the place of Dharmakshetra, and they might not win.
They might not win. Okay. So we have got situation, like the location where you're doing it, right? So depending on the location, it's going to have a different effect on you. Okay, good. And then we also saw that the enemy for some reason is already losing heart. Okay, so that's one reason. What else is there? What else
When we
was there?
already know Krishna
Eternal.
and he's on Arjun's side, then no questions asked.
Who's on whose side? I missed that
Krishna
part.
is on Arjun's side. So
Krishna is
then,
on Arjun's side, so you got a winner there. You took out your ace card. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Sutapa. You were also saying something.
Yeah, Mataji, I was saying the same thing, the eternal devotee. So that's the word emphasized here. So
Okay.
so the victory will be there. So the Niral Prabhu, what Niral Prabhu told, I was about to say the same
Okay, good. Great minds think alike.
And
Then
then
what else? Yeah, what else?
also Sanjay refers at least 2 times, I believe, that Krishna as the husband of goddess of fortune. So if goddess of fortune is there, the fortune is going to be there, then victory is going to be there.
All right. And what is Krishna's name as husband of goddess of fortune?
thing. Rishi.
No.
No.
Dhananjaya.
No.
Dhananjaya is not
So that's Arjuna. Oh, sorry.
Ram and Sita.
Madhava.
Madhava. Exactly. Madhava. Keshav Madhav Hari Hari Bol. Like that. Okay. Give me one more so that we have
What
5.
we learned today, Hanuman symbol
Yes,
on
Manasi.
the chariot.
Hanuman is there.
That's
Okay.
one more.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay, so this is something which is happening there, right, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and we know that Krishna has taken avatars. He's come here, so this is all his drama, right? Arjuna is the eternal devotee of Krishna. Whatever might happen to him, we are not going to judge Arjuna and say like, oh, this happened to him, this happened to him, like that. Arjuna is playing a part for us, right? So that Krishna will speak the Bhagavad Gita, and we will benefit, right? We'll get a friend and a companion for ourselves. Okay, so now let's see, how are you going to apply this in your life, this today's verse? What are your takeaways from here? What do you think? Should I bring up the verse again?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Mataji, because I like the science aspect when Prabhupada mentions that. So in the previous time when Prabhupada had used sign, you had mentioned that how can we use the signs in our devotional life? And we all go through this, like at least people have talked to devotees that, we have good days when, like now we have time. So we are like diving so much deeper into Krishna Katha, our chanting is better, but we do go through times when our chanting is like, okay, I have to get done. So maybe we can look at those signs that, hey, as a reality check that, you know what, I am slipping again. I need to bring myself up. Do I talk to a mentor? What do I do? Because life is life. It gets in the way. So how to get back? So I'm going to at least use the signs to see I don't slip.
Very nice. Very nicely put. Thank you.
Thank
Sign.
you.
I like sign as a reality check. I like that phrase.
One thing I picked up is we should always be on the side of Lord, and more so when we are making a decision or whatever we are doing. Just Arjuna, what he did, he was taking an arrow, and then okay, he was now confused and thinking about. So for every action, whatever we are going to do, let's go back a step, think about, okay, what Lord has to say about that, and then get on to that task.
Very good. So we were talking about the thinking, feeling, willing, and action.
Willing.
So you are, so before you will, you do that little quick check to see whether it is in favor of the Lord or not. So if you had to mention something about to make sure that we are on the side of the Lord, right? And Krishna is reciprocal. He reciprocates, right? So if you are on the side of Krishna, then Krishna will be on your side. right? Ye yatha mam, how much on your side? Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajami ham, right? In proportion to how much you surrender, Krishna will come and help you like that. Okay, good.
Okay, how do we know that Krishna is on our side? Some
We are on Krishna's
like we are on Krishna's side. I mean, we can do things while thinking about Krishna, but there are certain decisions which we don't know, which could be means
Right.
for us it could be life changing, but we don't know what is the right thing for us to do. And um, so how do we? Maybe we just asked ourselves, but again, that also becomes confusing at times.
Exactly, exactly. Very, very good question. And we see that, and those of you who are attending the Srimad Bhagavatam class, we see where we are reading Ashwathama, right, as the son of Drona punished. And so Ashwathama was in a situation, right? So there was Arjuna who was coming after him because Ashwathama had just finished off all the sons of Pandu. So Arjuna is going after him, and Ashwathama knows that he's going to be killed. So at that time, what he does is that he uses his own brain and decides on his own without consulting anybody. And he unleashes the Brahmastra, and the Brahmastra goes towards Arjuna, right? And Arjuna sees that Brahmastra coming, and what does Arjuna do? Right?
He
Arjuna could have done
surrenders.
so many things. What he does, he goes and turns to Krishna, prays to Krishna first, even before asking for anything, and then after that he will ask, right? So what I'm trying to emphasize by that particular example is that when you are in doubt, one of my teachers used to say, when you are in doubt, don't. Period. And this mantra is going to help you so much in your life, which means that if you are doubting, should I do it or should I not do it, then don't do it. Very, very simple, right? So then the question is that, then I might miss opportunities and things like that. And that is why Vaisheshika Prabhu uses a term, and I really like it a lot, is that collect mentors. Those are the ones that you will go to. And we have very famous words from Nectar of Instruction, Dadati Pratigunati Guhyam Akhyati Prichyati Bhumte Bhojate Cheva, right? So I'm emphasizing on Guhyam Akhyati Prichyati. Sometimes certain things could be very confidential and you could be in doubt about that and not knowing what I should do. So reach out to somebody with whom you share confidences, right? And then lay open your heart and ask them for your advice, right? Like that. So beyond a certain point, our brains don't work, and we are seeing it over here in the case of in the case of the Duryodhana also, right? He's just looking at all this, and then he's thinking, and he's going and telling Drona that you don't do it, and Bhishma, and he's telling others, now you protect Bhishma, then he has slip of tongue and all that kind of stuff, because using with his puny brains, he's trying to use his own things, right? But we should always reach out and have a direction and have a master. And the something which is very mind-boggling to me, at least, is that when it comes to material education, like you're in the material world and you're taking education, and as I mentioned in one of my lectures earlier, is that we send a child to school at 3 in India, maybe 5 in USA, but still it's a very young age. And then from that young age, the child is studying every day, goes to school, comes back, does homework, listens to the teacher, and then finally graduates. 21, 22, 23, want to do postgraduate like Khyati Mataji, it will take some more life and lives like that, right? And so we have to study. And two things that come out there, and I'm going to emphasize over here, is that, but when it comes to spiritual knowledge, we say that, nah, I can read it because I understood Sanskrit. I understand Sanskrit, so what's the big deal with Bhagavad Gita? I can learn it. I will understand it. And, I come from India where Bhagavad Gita was spoken, and where also Bhagavad Gita was printed. And there was a famous Gita press, very close to where I live and in the same state. And I never understood the Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because it was just the verses in Sanskrit and then translated into Hindi. Even after the translation, I could not understand Bhagavad Gita. The only time I started understanding Bhagavad Gita was when I read the purports by Srila Prabhupada, right? So I was trying to do things on my own. I read the Bhagavad Gita on my mother's deathbed, in India. But I tell you, not a single word from that recitation entered into my psyche. Not a single word. but when I read the purport from Srila Prabhupada, so you can get guidance, if in your heart you're seeking some guidance, then Krishna will arrange for that guidance for you. So that Bhagavad Gita came to me thanks to Raseshwari Leela Mataji, my Vartman Pradaksha Guru, who came and kept the Bhagavad Gita in the grocery shop here in Foster City. And I kind of saw it from my peripheral vision. I saw that. So, it came and I started reading it. And within 1 week, I finished the Bhagavad Gita and I changed my lifestyle 180 degrees. And the credit doesn't go to me. Credit goes to Srila Prabhupada, who has explained things so clearly in the purport. So we always have to, rely. And then, I always say that because my name is Shraddha, is that you should have faith. And here is where your mind will come in. We are doing mind in the Bhakti Bricks classes these days, right? Your mind is your biggest enemy in the beginning of your 9 stages to devotional service. And by the way, I'll be teaching 9 stages of devotional service for Modesto Temple today in the evening. And it'll be on my Facebook page, so you can join. So the mind is your biggest enemy, but it becomes your friend at a later stage in your devotional service. But the thing is that look at the mind, and this is coming from our envy of Krishna. And that is that we go to our material schools and the teachers tell us something and we blindly accept everything without any question. In fact, I'm sure that you have gone through it. And our kids have done this to us, and we have done it to our parents, that whenever our parents said, or my mom said something to me, like, do it this way, this is a better way, I would turn around and say, no, but my teacher tells me this. But my teacher tells me this. Because I remember when my daughter was learning mathematics here, the Indian style of reading mathematics and learning mathematics is much smarter. And so I was telling her, this quadratic equation, if you do it this way, like, no, we do it this way in the school. My teacher does it this way. We'll just do it this way. That's the mind, doesn't like to accept. So that's one thing, you accept whatever is there. And then the second thing is that we also blindly accept that. For example, when we were doing the spellings, right? So C-O-U-L-D, G-O-O-D is good, right? And C-O-U-L-D is good. No, it's not good, it's good. Teacher will say, L is silent. You say, yes, L is silent. Good, 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 good. And then would, no, would. And should, no, should. L is silent, L is silent, L is silent. Not a single question asked as to what is the logic. Why is the L silent, right? No questions asked. Pneumonia, how do you spell pneumonia? Anybody with logic will say N-U. No, there's a P in front of it. Or why is there right? But when it comes to Shastra, I want to question everything that Krishna has to say. Everything. I have to shred it into pieces, understand, and then still the doubts will come. Doubts are a demon till we learn how to surrender, right? Like that. So again, so what I'm just saying is that when you are faced with situations in life and we are going to seeking somebody's advice, and your mentors will give you good advice because they're experienced people, right? But then it is on us to take it and apply it again to life. And that's why when we are doing these Bhagavad Gita verses, we are constantly saying that, okay, this is that conversation happening. You're watching it on Sanjay's television, but what is it for me in it, right? What is there? How can I apply that on that? So when in doubt, don't do it at that time. Go and ask your mentor or your spiritual master. If you don't have one, get one. Buy one, get one free. Yeah. Like that. So does that answer your question, Tilaku?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, good. So back again to this particular verse. Yeah. So what else do we notice from there? Let me bring up the verse again here. And how does Arjun address Krishna in this verse?
Rishikesha.
Rishikesha. What does Rishikesha mean?
Controller of senses.
Controller of senses, right? So he has been calling Krishna. So we have been using different names, right, to bring out different aspects. Did we have different names for Arjuna?
Yes.
Yes.
Dhananjaya.
Right?
And
Pandavdari.
Say that again.
Pandava.
Pandava, okay.
And
Partha.
Gurakesh.
Partha.
Partha.
Partha. Okay. Suresh Prabhu, could you also take the responsibility of reading from the chat window? Because when I'm sharing the chat, I have to kind of push out the chat window from my screen. I think Varshana Mataji was trying to say something when I had a peek at the chat earlier.
Mm. In the Zoom chat,
The new Varshana Mataji. Yeah.
there is nothing.
There's
No
nothing.
one- yeah.
Why is it blinking for me here?
It might be an old message.
Maybe the old message. Okay, let's see.
Maybe
Varshana, yeah,
private.
she says, it is mentioned in a purport that had no cause of fear and is devotee of Krishna. So we have to be a devotee or to be on Krishna's side. And if you are a devotee, then we don't need to fear. Yes, very good. And then she has said Partha. Okay, she was giving us the name Partha there. Okay, good. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Yeah, so Krishna, so Arjun is talking to Lord Rishikesh. So you'll see that there are different names of Krishna which are there. Can you give me some names of Krishna?
Hishikesha,
Keshava,
Madhav,
Madhava,
Madhava.
Madhusudana,
Madhusudana.
Harishkrishna.
Right, right. So Krishna comes in and has got different names, and depending on the pastimes, he's given different kinds of names. So I'm going to bring up a verse here, and this verse is from the Shikshastakam, which can you see that? Can you see this screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So who is next to read? Do you remember who's next to read? Otherwise, we can start from the beginning again.
I read the last Manasi.
Okay, good. Manasi. Can you read verse number 2?
Okay. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
There you go, right? Clearly laid bare in front of Krishna. This is who I am, right? You give us so many names, right? So when we are in a situation like that, what else can we do than just to pray to the Lord? So that's why we have the Nam Ashtakam, right? And in the Nam Ashtakam, we pray and we want, right? So let's just go one by one and recite the translation for all the verses of Nam Ashtakam. So whoever goes next after Manasi Mataji?
Barsha ke Mataji.
Varshana Mataji, new one. Are you in a position to read? Because you're
Yes, yes, Mataji.
good. Awesome.
O
Please.
Son of Holy Name, even the dim light of your early dawn, Namabhasa, devours the power of the darkness of the material world and gives those who are blind to the truth the insight to follow the path of pure devotion to Krishna. What learned person in this world can possibly fully describe your transcendental glories?
Okay, so we'll start from verse number 1. So whoever is next coming after Varshana can go and read verse number 1.
Yes. O Harinama, the tips of the toes of your lotus feet are constantly being. Sorry, Mataji.
Oh, there
Can
is
you scroll down a little bit?
okay, yeah, and I think there's this chat window over there.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Constantly being worshipped by the glowing radiance emanating from the string of gems known as the Upanishads, the crown jewels of all Vedas. You are eternally adored by liberated souls such as Narada and Shukadeva. O Harinama, I take complete shelter of you.
O Harinam, O name sung by the sages, O transcendental syllables that bring bliss to the people. Even if you are spoken only once, and even if you are spoken disrespectfully, you at once remove the many harsh sufferings of everyone.
I'll read fourth.
Third.
Okay. O son of O son of the holy name, even the dim light of your early dawn, Namabhasa devours the power of the darkness of the material world and gives those who are blind to the truth the insight to follow the path of pure devotion to Krishna. What learned person in this world can possibly fully describe your transcendental glories?
Let me scroll it up. Okay, go ahead. Who comes after you?
Yes, Mataji.
Your turn, Mataji.
Okay. O holy name, the Vedas declare that although meditation on impersonal Brahman cannot bring freedom from past karma, your appearance on the tongue of your chanter at once makes all karma disappear.
O holy name, I pray that my love for you in your name, in your many forms, such as Agadamana, crusher of Agasura, Yashoda Nandana, son of Yashoda, Nandasuno, son of Nanda, Kamalanayanan, lotus-eyed, Gopi Chandra, moon of the gopis, Vrindavanendra, king of Vrindavan, Pranat Karuna, merciful to the surrendered souls, and Krishna may greatly increase.
O holy name, you are manifested in two forms. One, the Supreme Person described by the holy name, and two, the sound vibration of the holy name. We know that the second form is even more merciful than the first, because although a person may commit many offenses to your first form, he will still plunge into an ocean of bliss by serving your second with his voice.
O perfect and complete holy name of Lord Krishna, you are the embodiment of delightful and intense spiritual bliss. You destroy the many sufferings of those who take shelter of you, and you are festival of happiness of Gokula. I bow in front you. I bow before you again and again.
O Krishna Nama, O inspiration of Narada's Veena, you are full of sweetness, which is like an ocean full of waves of nectar. If you wish, please appear constantly on my tongue, along with transcendental affection for the Lord.
Haribol. So one interesting thing that I just noticed was that Varshana Mataji was reading. It's verse number 7, and you see the words over here. It says, "I bow before you again and again," right?
Yeah.
And she stumbled there, and because she said something else, right? Do you remember, Varshana Mataji? What did you say?
I said bow, then I corrected myself. I bow before you again.
Yeah. No, but other than that, you didn't say the words completely like that. There was something else that you said, like, which was the mind is assuming something is there in the sentence, and then that thing comes to your tongue. And so you can go back and hear the recording again for this to see what happened. And I'm not saying this is not to criticize you or anything like that. I'm just saying that this is for all of us to observe an application of verse from from Bhagavad Gita, where we see in the 3rd chapter, which says, lowest is the dull matter, above the dull matter are the senses, above the senses is the mind, right? And above the mind is intelligence, and so on, right? So since we were talking about mind in our Bhakti Vish class on Saturday, I just wanted to emphasize this here again. And that is, the eyes are seeing something. The eyes are seeing the word before or something like that, right? But the mind is already kind of assume that, okay, this is maybe from memory, having read this translation before, or maybe from our understanding, etc. The mind thought something else, right? Some other words it thought. And then because mind is higher than the senses, the mind was able to control your tongue and make you speak something else. You see that?
Bow down. Did I say I bow down before
I don't remember that it's slipped, but go back and listen to your recording, and we should all go back. I should go back and listen to the recording so that I remember what it was. But what I'm trying to emphasize here is that the mind will come and plant words, even though your eyes don't see it, right? Even though your eyes are seeing, I bow down before you again and again, but you will read something else. Like instead of saying before, you will say prior to, or something like that. We will say like that. But so notice that, and it's a fact, right? So there's nothing like I'm bad or I'm wrong or I'm this and I'm that. This is where we are in this material world, right? And when we were talking about the mind and the body and control and meditation and all that last Saturday, we were talking about how meditation helps us in preventing diseases. And at one time, I had said that, I had mentioned that, see here, we are talking about diseases, but how does Prabhupada say? What is the biggest disease that Prabhupada says? What is the biggest disease?
This body itself is
This
Body
body is
itself is a
biggest.
disease. There you go, right? He said this body itself is a disease. So if there is a disease, right? And then of course the material nature is all around us, and then it starts coming and presenting things before us. So there are germs all around us. So first we got a body, and then there are germs from around. And I'm not talking about corona or any of those germs that are around. I'm talking about germs in our devotional service, right? Anarthas and influences that come from outside. And so Vajrika Prabhu yesterday was used a very nice word, and he said that we need to inoculate, right? Like right now today we are looking for the corona vaccine. Where is it? Where is the vaccine? I need to get that vaccine. Well, the ardent desire that we have to get a corona vaccine, the same ardent desire should be with us as well, to get this vaccine against this disease that we are in this material world. And guess what? I don't know whether we have a cure for corona or not, or whether we'll get a cure for corona or not, but we have a cure for our material disease. And we have an inoculation, not a cure. We have an inoculation, which will lead to cure as well. We have inoculation, and that inoculation is to chant the holy names of the Lord. So when we go back and read the Bhagavad Gita, we have to be cognizant and alert and see, what are the different kinds of names that are used to address. And Varshana Mataji, since you're, scholarly and you also like to do a lot of documentation, can I request you that as we go along every day and we are reading these verses from Bhagavad Gita, I want you to come up with a document that is listing all the names of Krishna and all the names of Arjuna, right? I don't want you to go and build a document tonight and, say, I'm going to go through all the 18 chapters and do this. No, I just want you to build it as we go along, right? So we have a little bit of a backlog. We have done about 18 verses. So that's fine. You can look at the 18 verses tonight. When sleep is not coming to you, at that time you say, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to do this. Only up to verse number 20. Give us the names of Krishna and give us the name of Arjuna. And like that. So I'm noticing the time on the clock there. It is 7:34 in the morning, and I know you all have to go to work. So unless there are some hard questions that cannot be addressed.
Mataji, just one question, not in from the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhakti Vriksha class from Saturday. There is a line, the chanting is a call for grace. So,
call for grace. Please? Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, what is grace? What when we use the term grace, what do you understand as grace?
It is benediction, or it's not really mercy, but getting something which you don't deserve.
Which you don't deserve. That's the one that I was looking for. That phrase. Thank you so much. So, we recite the Vigyapti verses every day, right? So we know who we are. We have absolutely no qualifications at all. So our only hope is that even though we do not have any qualifications at all, if somebody will have grace on me, if Krishna will have his grace on me and bring me back to his Golok Vrindavan, take me back to his abode. So chanting is, we are begging, and we are, we do that. And so the mood in which you chant is that you're asking and you're begging for Krishna's grace, acknowledging that I'm here. So that is why we have all these beautiful prayers written by our acharyas, so that we recite these prayers. Because when we are asking anything from Krishna, when Krishna is transcendental and you talk to Krishna, you have to deal in the transcendental, right? Because like if you go to Andhra Pradesh and you have to talk in Telugu. If you go to Tamil, you have to talk in, if you go to Tamil Nadu, you have to go to talk in Tamil, right? Like that. So similarly, when you're talking to Krishna, the things have to be transcendental. Now, we are not in that situation, or at least I'm not in that condition right now, that transcendental things, my speech is transcendental. So that is why we go and rely on the Uttam shlokas. Uttama means transcendental, right? And Krishna is glorified by Uttam shlokas. So we rely on Uttam shlokas recited by exalted devotees. And that is why we don't construct our own prayers, right? And no matter how catchy and how beautiful somebody might sing a particular song in the most melodious manner, it won't have its effect on you. If it's just some singer who's being paid to sing a bhajan, right? Madhuban mein Radhika nache re, right? But from whose mouth is it coming? You have to see, right? So that is why you might, any musically minded person who's just musical on the mundane plane might just not like when our acharyas are singing in their broken old voices. But a devotee sees nectar in that because he's tuned to the transcendental channel in that sound that is coming, right? So we have to, that is why we do these prayers before the chanting so that we come into that mood, right? We have to remind ourselves every day, Matsamo na asti papatma. Like me, there is no other papi atma. Honestly, yeah, before the Bhagavad Gita came into our life, I was the best person in this creation. I was flawless. And everybody around me was flawed. They had so many mistakes. They had I don't know how Krishna made all those people, like that. And now it takes about 10 years of, constant bashing and under the spiritual master advice like that. I have come to the conclusion that everybody around me is actually contributing to make me a better person. Right? And it takes a long time. It's the ego that comes, ego is there. It'll prevent you. So this prayer, Asutapa Mataji, this chant that we say for Hare Krishna, let's do that now. Hare Krishna together. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama.
Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama.
Hare
Hare Hare. Go Premanande. Hare Hare. Okay. Oh,
Thank you,
I
Mataji.
saw Priya Gopika now and Chaitanya. So the Chaitanya?
Hare Bol.
Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Bol, it's so good to see you. Wow.
Yeah, we were watching it from Facebook Live, but then we couldn't resist, so we just joined on Zoom as well.
Yes, now join on Zoom because Zoom is interactive. And yesterday I had asked some questions, and I'm going to ask them again. What do you say? Should I ask them?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, same question I'm going to ask just to make sure that you remember that. Okay, so here a poll is coming up for you, and please answer. There are two
Okay, sure.
questions in the poll.
Pondera. Hey, why are you saying answer? Oh, I should be saying.
Okay, are you all done?
Yes.
No.
Six have responded. I can see that.
This poll is so much fun.
Poll is fun. Yeah, I need. So one of the things that you can do is that, you can come up with fun questions and I can add them to the poll for next time. Yeah, think about that. Yeah. Yeah, so these classes are involved. I'm not gearing these classes as I come here and I just speak and I tell you all my lofty ideas and we depart and then nothing sinks into you. Bhagavad Gita is going to sink into you when you make her your constant companion. And you will make her your constant companion by serving her. And this is one of the ways, like Varshana Mataji got the service of finding all the names, right? Slowly but steadily. And then similarly, all of you have got this to meditate on these verses and think, like, what are the fun questions that I can create, right? And you can get creative, and I'm here to create this thing for you. Okay, so are we done? Are all of us done? I see some answers here.
Yeah.
I'm going to end the poll.
Mataji, the submit thing in my screen, the submit thing is not. Means
Yeah,
I
something
couldn't
is not there. If you scroll down,
Yes, Mataji.
there's two. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, I am on the second page.
And you have answered that question also?
Yeah, Mataji.
Okay, we'll have to take that offline because I don't know what device you're using and like that, but we'll take it offline for you.
Okay.
Only 2 questions, right, Mataji?
There are 2 questions there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw only one.
I also saw only one, Mataji.
You have to scroll. And that's the reason you're not able to submit. So scroll down.
Maybe there is next button somewhere.
Yeah, please tell you, because I'm not looking at it on iPhone, so I will
Neither.
not know.
Yeah, if you scroll down, there's a next button, then you go to the second question, and then you scroll down again, and then there's the submit button
Okay,
on the
good.
right
Thank
bottom.
you. Thank you, Aditya. Okay. If it's on the right, then maybe they have to scroll towards the right also, right? And those of you who are watching us online, and let us see who are there. We have Shraddha, Bhaktan Shraddha. We have Natwar Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Shraddha. Thank you for joining. We have Vidya Vadu Mataji. We have Radha Kripa Prabhu. Danvat Pranam Radha Kripa Prabhu. And now I see Chaitanya. Okay, good. And Anchut Prabhu, Danvat Pranams to you. Gautami Ganga Prabhu, Danvat Pranams to you as well. Rohit Kumar, so good to have you on the call. Hare Krishna. And Nilanjana Mataji, Rinku Mataji, so good to have you here. Arita Mataji, so good to have you here. And yes, are we done? Do we have all the polls now? Are you still struggling with the submit button, Varshana and Sutapa? Are you on mute? I still have 6. Okay, why don't you give me your answers, right? After I end the poll here and I start sharing my results, then you can tell me whether your answers were the same or not. Okay, what is the name of the conch shell that Yudhishthira blew?
Ananta Vijaya.
Ananta Vidya. For 57% of you got it right? Some said Devadatta. So Panchajanyam Rishikesho. So Rishikesh, Krishna blew the conch shell, Panchajanya. Devadatta Dhananjaya. So Devadatta was done by Dhananjaya, Arjuna, right? And then in the next verse, it starts with Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha. So Anant Vijay was done by Pandram Dadbo Mahashankha. Pandra was done by Bhim. Okay, so and that was the second question, which all of you got right. And then one said Sughosh. So Sughosh is whose?
Nakul.
Nakula Sahudevascha Sughosha Mani Pushpaka. So Nakul did the Sughosh. Okay, like that. So you can tell your answers, Varshana and Sutapa Mataji. Yeah, but we gave you the answers, right?
Yes, Mataji, Bhim, Pondra, and Ananta Vijaya by Yudhishthira.
Yudhishthira, yes, now that's there in your psyche. Sutapa, what about you?
Yeah, Mataji.
Same thing?
Same. Yeah, Ananta
Very
Vijaya.
Very good.
The first question I answered, but I don't know, the submit button was not, I couldn't see. I don't know why.
Okay.
And I don't know
You
why
know, Sutapa, I was
Yeah.
also telling something about, I was thinking about procrastination. I know that you want to buy an iPad and you want to, you were waiting for yourself to go into the Apple store and buy it. I'm just saying buy it online. Just talk to some Apple people and they will tell you which one is a good one. Talk to Varshana, she uses, and just buy it.
And she should buy a bigger one, Mataji. Mine is smaller. She should buy a bigger one. Because the screen is big and you can see it better.
And then we will get to see you also. Because you have an iPad.
Okay, Mataji.
All right. So you got an action item. You can tell Piyush Prabhu.
Yes.
Right.
I'll do that.
Yeah. You can tell me you have to do homework, you need it. Like how a kid can tell us, right? You need a laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. So should we call it a day today? It's difficult to leave such an exalted assembly, but I think you all have to work, right? You all work, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but we should be thankful that we have a job. Many don't have it.
Yes.
We have lost it. Okay. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. And if you're lucky, I might broadcast at about 5:45 in the evenings with some bhajan. I won't be singing. And then lecture will start at 6. Not 6, sorry, 6:45 the bhajans, and 7 o'clock to 8 will be the lecture there.
So in India, it will be 7:45?
7 o'clock is our time is what in India?
7:30 p.m.
7:30.
7:30 p.m. Very good.
7:30. Okay, Mataji.
Okay.
So, Mataji, 7 o'clock of your time.
Oh, yeah, it'll be 10 for you, Satapa. You should be in bed
Yes,
by that
yeah,
time.
yes.
Yeah. You should sleep.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu
Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Pratitanam Pavanabhayo Vaishnadevayo Namaha
Gopremanande.
Anande Hari Hari Bol.
Have a wonderful, wonderful Krishna conscious day. Keep the Bhagavad Gita with you as your companion today and use the Harinam as an inoculation against whatever is going to surround you from this material world. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Dandavat pranam. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Gopremanande.
Hari Hari Bol.